What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone is doing well. The Celtics grab another home win, 16-0 at home, 25-6 on the season. This one coming against the Toronto Raptors. This is the third time these teams have faced off this season. The Celtics are now 3-0 against them. This was an interesting one though. No Jayson Tatum, no Al Horford, no Kristaps Porzingis, but in the end, it didn't matter. This was a great game, seeing an all hands on deck approach. In the first half there, I was pleased with a lot of things that I saw. I thought the team came out with great energy, great pace, moved the ball, was hitting their threes. In the second half, there was a little bit of a different story. The Celtics offense cooled down. They were loose with the ball. Toronto shooting picked up, and it turned into a grinded out game. I saw some fans upset after the game, but overall, I think there's more positive takeaways than negative. For one, you're able to grind out a win against a decent team. I know their record doesn't show up, but look at that squad. They got OG, they got Pascal, they got Scotty, Gary Trent Jr., Jakob Poeltl. And historically, this has been a team that's always been able to muck it up for the Celtics, and you're able to grab a crunch time win against them without JT, without Kristaps, without Al. I mean, there's a lot to like here. Let's get into some individual performances. Do I dare start off this episode with the Luke Kornet segment? And I guess I'm going to. He finished with 20 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 blocks. It feels like Luke has really been listening to all the Keita talk recently. You know, after Luke's 8-game absence with his injury and Keita being able to showcase some of his skills, a lot of us were saying, including me, or questioning, did Keita steal his spot in the rotation? But what do you know? Kristaps is out tonight, Al's out tonight, the starting lineup report comes out, and what do you know? Luke Kornet is your starting center, and he made the most of it. I guess what we got to keep in mind is, or what I got to keep in mind is, it's hard to earn Joe's trust, but once you're in that circle of trust, it's solidified, and he trusts Luke Kornet. So we should have known that he was going to come back around again. But besides all the box score stuff that we discussed already, I really like some of the intangibles that Luke brought tonight. The physicality, the toughness, the edge, the urgency was there. You always have a good idea what you're going to get from Luke. He'll come in, set some solid screens, be in good defensive positioning, but when he's doing more than he's asked to, I guess he deserves to be the leadoff segment of the show. So shout out Luke Kornet, shout out the Green Kornet. And moving on to JB, he had 31 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, and 7 turnovers, but it's not as bad as it looks. We know Toronto's that long, lanky defensive team who gets in the passing lanes, is able to collapse on people. Of course, you want to keep the turnovers under 7, but to be fair, this is a one-off in his recent run. The past month, he's been doing a great job playmaking, making his teammates better, and besides, tonight he did a lot of other great things. This game and the Sacramento game that JT also missed has really highlighted a point in JB's growth. I feel in the past with JT out, Brown would feel the need to force things and really try to lead this team by scoring 50 or just doing too much, but that's not what he's been doing. He's been sticking within his role, picking his spots, maybe a little bit more ball time, and something that really impressed me there was that fourth quarter, the crunch time. He didn't feel the need to be like, I'm the best player, I need to take these last few shots. He was off ball, he let D White cook, and he didn't look upset about it. I've just been really impressed with what Jaylen Brown has been able to do this year. Before the season, there was a lot of questions around him. Some people were making him seem like he was going to be the odd man out, but that's not the case at all. And you know, for a top 20 player in the league, the highest paid player in the league, he just continues to do what he's asked to do. No complaints, and it just feels like he's a lot of clarity in his role this year, and it just never fails to surprise me how he continues to grow throughout each season. There hasn't been one single season where Jaylen Brown hasn't developed a certain part of his game, and this year it just seems to be more of like a mental maturity development, more poise. And again, I know 7 turnovers tonight, but if you've been watching the season, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But moving on, here we are again, the millionth episode in a row where we're going to do more D White All-Star talk. Okay, so it's fourth quarter, it's crunch time. Just in general, what do teams do? What do teams do? They go to their star player to make something happen, whether that's scoring for themselves or making plays for others. And the Celtics went to Derek White tonight, and he was cold throughout the game shooting, but it didn't matter. The team still had confidence to go to him. Go back to the 2-minute mark of this video and you will see D White performing in clutch time. You will see bald greatness, that tough 3 over Gary Trent, and then he just bulldozed his way into McDaniels for the layup. It's not very often that you see a typical role player get called on in crunch time to take over a game, but that's the thing. Derek White is not just a typical role player, and I'm not saying he's not a role player at all, because he is, but you could be both a role player, and I'm saying that a lot, and a star player at the same time. Those two can exist together, like Klay Thompson or like Draymond Green. Not those guys now, but what they were, you know what I mean. And another sign of a star player is someone who impacts the game when their shot's not falling like it usually is. He was 5 for 19 tonight, 26%. That's cold. But he was 9 for 9 from the free throw line, and he had 7 assists in another game. 7 straight games where he's had multiple blocks, 2 blocks tonight, 3 steals. He's doing everything every single night. As Celtics fans, we got to do our best to get this message out there and vote this man into the All-Star game. We got to get all the national media talking about it so the coaches can vote him in, the players can vote him in, all that. And if there's any Raptors fans listening, come on, you saw it. Cast your vote for D-Way. And the last person I want to talk about is Sam Hauser. He got the start and he shot better tonight. 3 for 7 from 3. That's 42%. That's more of his season average. But other than that, he did other things to impact the game. He had 9 rebounds. And to be honest, the thing about his defensive stats last year, where he was like one of the best ISO defenders in the league, was blown out of proportion. But he really does provide some solid defense. So shout out Sam. I know he's on the verge of breaking out of that slump. But anyway, I think that's going to be it for this video because this is the third time these teams have faced off. There's been a lot of Celtics-Toronto talk. Probably more than there needs to be. These last 2 games really haven't changed my opinion much on this team. Maybe if anything, I come out feeling 5% better than I already have, but I'm really excited for these next 2 games. We go up against Wemby, and then we go up against the young studs at OKC, Shea, Chet, Jada. But I'm going to wrap it up right there. The Celtics are now 25-6, 16-0 at home, the best record in the NBA. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe. It's the best and easiest way to support. I'm trying to pump as much Celtics content out as I can for you guys. I'm here after every single game, all 82 plus the playoffs. I will talk to you guys Sunday, New Year's Eve, December 31st. Wemby and the Spurs. Peace.